Let's see. We have audio.
Hey.
Hey.
A great
What
success.
What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Music
we're
off.
No, that's us. Yeah, I'm good, man.
You're good?
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody, we have a new guest today. Please state your name and why you're here.
I'm Shannon. I'm JM's sister. I was told about this today. JM goes, hey, you want to come on? I'm like, let's go.
Sure.
Let's go.
If any of you guys are listening that is supposed to be on this show, she listened to a lot of albums. Remember this. I've been told you listen to a lot of albums for this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
All of them. Yeah.
You listened to all of them.
I did. Thank you. Just once through, but still. That was what, 17?
17 albums.
Yes.
Yeah.
17 albums. Now, the history of this band, we're talking a band 40 years in the making plus, went through 3 singers. I can imagine a lot of these bands started in the 80s. This band really doesn't get enough credit, I think, for the metal and the thrash and the genre that me and John really listen to. I don't know what you're into, Shannon, but what are you into? What do you like to listen to? Like what's a good band you're like, man, I can always listen to it or whatever?
Oh, Coheed and Cambria, hands down.
There you go.
Just, yeah. Whenever I have like I don't know, what do I feel like listening to? I don't know. It's always just, if I put on Coheed and Cambria, it's always good. So.
Do you ever have a band, your guilty pleasure band, that nobody knows, but you really like this band? And I'll ask you this because I'll tell you my band if you tell me your band.
I would have to think about it.
Is there something you're like, oh, this is really great, and you're like, if somebody looks at you like, really? You like this band? Really? Because for me, what about you, John?
Oh, I will tell you right now, Huey Lewis and the News.
There you go. This is the purpose of this show, to listen to bands you don't listen to. Me is Tears for Fears.
Hey, now.
I don't even know who that is.
That's, I mean,
what? Really? Wow. How old are you?
I'm 32. Sounds right. Like we're both sitting here trying to do math. When was 1991?
Because John is what, 42, 43?
Hold on.
You're at least 43 because you had a Tom Wilson birthday.
Yeah, that was.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that, by the way. That's awesome.
And I'm about to be 41, so I'm over 40. So
yeah, I'm 44, but we're not going to go into that.
Yeah. So, but that's the purpose of this, and I'm glad you're on the show because you have a different insight to music of what you like and except you never heard of. And I wanted to, this is the main, I love that we have somebody on here that would never listen to them. You never even heard it except. Nope. That's the best part. This is going to be a great show. I can already tell.
If I'm invited back, it'll happen a lot. A lot.
Just listening to all the albums and showing up on time, you have a unlimited pass here. you really do.
Maybe wait till we see what happens.
You have your lifetime pass chance.
Oh my bad. I'm about to get a text message. You son of a bitch.
It'll get awkward. It'll get awkward. You're like, wait a second, hold on. This was her ranking. No, she can't be back. You put that album first? No.
You act like people watch this. Really?
Really? I mean,
I'm joking. Whoever you one person out there, thank you. I appreciate it.
The half dozen people
The
that
half
may or may
dozen.
not watch it.
And the millions of people across the world. Somebody
I mean,
find us.
Yeah.
Someone will.
It's
Yeah.
comedy gold. It's comedy gold. High quality stuff here.
I'm just waiting for that. I'm just waiting for that text message from you with a cease and desist letter.
You are
Take this
baking
down.
We gotta do something about this. We gotta. I mean,
Take this down immediately. Oh man.
All right.
All right.
Are we three ready for accept?
As we will ever be.
Deep breath. All right, Shannon. You ready?
I'm
Here we
ready.
go. All right.
So it goes.
So
No
it
whammies, no
goes.
whammies, no whammies.
Ooh. And I'll tell you which one it is. It is gonna be Eat the Heat.
Eat the heat.
Oh no, it's not.
Humanoid?
Humanoid.
Humanoid?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
the
So
most recent
Humanoid is the latest from April of this year. They came out with it. The latest one. What did you think about it?
I thought it was fine.
Okay.
I didn't think it was like terrible. I didn't think it was amazing. It was pretty middle of the road.
Okay.
Well, that's actually not true. Hold on. I look at my ranking. It's a little lower. It's a little
Okay.
lower than that. I put it at.
If you gave numbers like a 1 through 10, we can work with that too.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I ranked that one as number 11
11 out of
out of the
17.
17.
So you pretty much, it's probably a C for you. That's what it
Yeah, I
sounds
mean-
like to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I lumped that in my kind of like, yeah, it was fine, it was average, you know.
And we call that
Grades, I think C.
Oh, that's a lawnmower.
the lawn mower. That's
Lawn
spelled right.
Mower.
Mo.
This is also the
Am I
other
spelling
comedy
right?
gold part is that Mark doesn't know how to spell.
Block now. How you spell
What's an
mower?
autocorrect is for?
WER.
Oh, W-E-R. Okay, I was right. I had to.
Yeah.
So to us, lawnmower means if you just listen to a lawnmower, it's something in the background. You appreciate it going through, stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's
a
exactly.
lawnmower.
There's at least 3 or 4 songs that you're good with.
Yeah. You could appreciate it and like
Yeah.
that's what it's good enough. Like you threw it on, you can listen to, you didn't skip no tracks.
Nope.
You're okay. So surprisingly enough, I gave it an 8 out of 10. So I noticed for me, this one I wrote down, it has a lot of the same previous ones, like 5 of the previous ones, like from Blood of the Nations to here. Those 5, you almost can say they're sequels to movies. Like they were one after the other. There was something different about this one, but the same at the same time. Like they brought in some different stuff. It felt like the drumming on it sounded really good. I'm not saying the previous ones are bad, but something about this one was a lot better to me.
It seemed like the drums were tighter.
Yeah.
Then you're saying then like of their reboot 5 albums,
Something
you
about
thought this one was the best of those 5?
No, not the
Okay.
best, but
Not
the
the best one.
production of it was a little bit better. And also too, we're talking from 2010-9, whenever Blood of the Nations came out, to 2024. It's been 14 years. The singer sounds exactly the same. Like there is no change. I love his voice. I think he's perfect fit. The solos to me seemed more prominent in this album than maybe previous ones. But the album cover is pretty cool too. I thought it was pretty cool.
I think that, like
So,
their album covers. There's not many album covers that are like what are you doing here? They're all like pretty.
They're
You know,
really
like-
good.
They're all
I
They're
agree.
really
interesting.
good.
Yeah. So
Did
we'll
you
put it on the
notice-
lawnmower.
What was it? Die by the Sword. That's the first. No, not
Yes.
Die by the Sword. Was that the first track off of this one?
No, the
Yeah, God dang it. Now I gotta look at it.
uh,
Diving into
is-
Sin. That was.
Yep,
that was
Diamond
it.
and Sin. Yep.
Did you get like a Dream Theater vibe to that song?
I'm glad you said that. Yes, I did. I'll tell you this much: listening to this band, it's always AC/DC for me.
Yeah, he's
Very heavy.
Like his voice is like a mixture of both.
Yes, it
of-
is.
Why am I drawing a blank? Brian Johnson and Bon Scott. Jesus Christ, on a
Yes.
motorbike, man. How did that do? Jeez, you know. But
The
yeah.
Reckoning is a good song too, but I gave it an 8. I appreciate it. I liked it, but I don't know. But we'll put it on Lawnmower. You're right.
No,
An
I did.
8.
I did like it. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
Like guys, I didn't hate myself for listening to it. I would listen to it again. It was just not
Yeah.
like
Nothing's like, oh my goodness.
it didn't like
you know?
stick out in my brain as like, oh, but this album.
This is the album.
Fair enough. That's understandable. I can understand what you're saying. That makes sense. All right, Johnny boy,
Oh, my turn.
it's your turn. That's right. We're going from right to left. I know you can't see that, but I can.
Oh, I can see
That's
it.
what matters. Me too. That's all that matters. All right. Maybe you'll get eaten.
It might be.
You are. You are. Oh, I really want to know what you think of this one. What did you think of this one?
Eat the heat.
Eat the heat.
What are we doing? What are you doing? This is. I will say
Oh shit.
musically, fantastic. Like if you could take David Reese, God bless him for trying, but
That guy.
he did not fit. He did not fit into the band.
Now one bed. Poor guy.
Being the, I mean, an American singer or whatever, didn't even sound like Accept. It sounded like pick your 80s hair metal band.
Songs that sound like from a hair band. That's what I wrote. What did you
And
think about it? It seems like
Okay.
you.
I can't disagree with anything you guys have said.
Okay.
I personally just love pop metal.
Ah.
I love it. I was like, this is groovy. I did not pay attention to like any lyrics, so I can't speak for that. But like
They were cheesy.
the
They were
They're
instrumental
cheesy.
part of it, I was just like,
No,
You were just
like I
into
said,
it.
like I said,
let's go.
like I feel like, and again, I wrote down that it had a more American sound, and I guess that had to do with the singer more than anything.
They are from Germany, except the singer. So
So, and I thought it might be a little bit experimental, but this also felt like side project.
well, you gotta
This
understand.
was the time too that like Udo left the band,
Yep. This is a
Or-
fresh start.
or they all decided they were gonna disperse, and then
Yeah.
they're like, ah, just kidding, but we're still gonna make this side project with you, and we're gonna do Accept with this other guy, and it probably should have been the other way around.
It definitely should have. Should have been a whole new band. Except should have went on hiatus and everything. This is the worst album out of their whole collection. I hate. I gave it a 4 out of 10. It was garbage.
This is the worst
The
album
worst.
of all 17. No, sir.
I will tell you.
No,
I
sir. It
gave
is
it-
not
there
their
is a
worst.
s-
It is
this
absolutely not their worst. No, it is not their worst.
I gave it a 5
See?
because I had it at 4 like it was like 4.36,
Uh-huh.
and then I just upped it to 5 because I was like,
Round
musically,
up.
musically it's good. I just the singing and the lyrics are
I don't
just
disagree. I don't disagree. But
awful.
I think the instrumental was enough to put it at a hair better than Humanoid.
What?
Yes,
Whoa.
I did. It is just above. It is just above Humanoid for me.
So I before, and I said songs sound like hair metal. Solos, there was no solos. That's what their bread and butter is.
Fair.
Solos in the singing. That's what they are. They are Scorpions with an AC/DC singer. That's what they are. And the new singer is not that great. That's what
No, he's not. No, he's not.
And John makes a good point. It's one of those things where it should have been something else. It should not have been Accept, but the problem is the whole band was there except Uda because he left. They got to do something under the banner of Accept, and that's the price you pay. Yeah, that's the price you pay. Everybody turned their back on you, like fuck you. That was a dark time. I think that's where they took a break for 4 years, maybe.
Yeah, I think after that tour, was that the tour where the drummer had like back problems, or was
Yes.
that later on?
It might have been that one or the next one, something like that. Let's see. What did I get? Did I get Restless and Wild? Yeah, I got Restless and Wild. Let's see. Yep.
Nice.
I will definitely say this is an S. This is an S tier. Holy crap. To me, this is their Injustice for All, where they are on the cusp of national popularity to me. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Like, it really impressed me getting to it because you can't tell me Fast as a Shark is not a badass double bass song.
Oh, it's a fucking awesome song.
You ever heard interviews about Anthrax talking about Fast as a Shark? You ever heard the interviews? Charlie Benante, when he first got with Anthrax to try out, they asked him, "Can you play Fast as a Shark?" He's like, "Yes, play it." That was the
bar.
That was the bar. I can understand why, because being with that, and every song's a banger. Like, every one of them was, I could listen to it over and over, and I think I did like 3 times, to be honest. I gave it its time, and I think last thing, this is probably their first album. Not saying Breaker was a bad album. I thought that was a great album too. I'm not going to tell you the score, but this is where I think all their ideas came together, and it became a pinnacle for them to be like, national notoriety. I gave it an S. I loved it. I will be coming back to that one. It's really good.
Yeah, that was definitely one I wanted to come back to as well.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like it seemed like that's where they were like getting into that Accept sound of like the 80s, 90s. That sound.
That was from 83, 82, 83. So
yeah,
talking from that. But you liked it too. So you liked it too.
It is tied for my number 1 album.
I can see why.
It just, everything is yes.
But yet you like Eat the Heat. Son of a bitch.
I did.
What did you
You're
rate
acting like I'm saying Eat the Heat is an amazing album that's super, like, how can you not love it? I'm just saying it. I don't think it's trash.
What was the rating?
I thought it was
out of
average.
17? What was the rating out of, what did you give it?
It was right above Humanoid, so it was Humanoid 11.
So 10.
Oh no, Humanoid was 12. It was 11.
That's a C to you too. That surprised me. It's
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
But that's what I like. I like to hear stuff like that because what you think is great, somebody else might think it's amazing. And eat the heat, huh? Mm.
Garbage, not trash.
No.
Garbage.
No, it's
Their worst album. You're saying their worst album. It is not. There are.
To
Well, and-
me, that was the worst. Sorry,
to me it is too, but that's because we're on the same side. So it's nice to have you here to be like,
Yes.
okay, but this is the reason why it may
But
not.
also, and my other number one, Metal Heart. Yes, everything about it. Yes, the jazzy riffs are amazing. That like yes,
Metal Heart.
yes.
Okay. So we're going to put that in S because you said it. So this is tied for number 1 for you.
Correct. It was this one and Reckless and Wild. I was like, which one is number one? There's
Okay.
both great.
John.
I was not bored. I didn't look at my phone once to go, when is this over? How much longer?
I mean, I dug it. There was a probably somewhere in the middle where I was just kind of all right, and then like the last like 3 songs kind of brought me back into it. You know, it ended very well for me. Strong
I
ending.
gave it a 6 out of 10. So I wrote every song is very audience oriented. Like they're always something to play. Like their songs, every song is like made for an audience to
Made
sing
for
back.
crowd interaction.
Yes.
Oh,
like,
okay. I see what you're saying.
It's
I was
very
like, what else do you make music for? But okay.
everything's a sing back. I'm like
Like a call and
right.
response kind of.
Yes. I did say Udo's voice was amazing. He sung a lot more like AC/DC on that album than previous ones. He really sounded like I really thought I was listening to AC/DC, but
Yeah,
faster
I-
or something.
I felt like on the first couple it sounds like Exodus to me. Like
Right?
the first couple 3 albums right there.
How the riffs are played, it really you could tell
And
what they influenced to what I listened. I was like, man, that's where they stole it from. That's where they stole it from. They
I
stole
mean, you
it
could
from
even-
all
you-
fucking them.
you could even argue he kind of sounds like who's the not Paul Bailoff, but the guy that was right after him.
Zetra. Yeah, Zetra.
Yeah, he does kind of have a similar vocal styling to
One of
the
my
we'll get
lines,
there.
one of my lines, one of my sentences, every song gets heavier but poppy at the same time. And I understand why you like it, and that's why I wrote it. That makes total sense now.
Mm.
I was like, it's very poppy and catchy.
It
Like
is.
it's almost not radio friendly, but it's made to get to a mass audience. Like they went to that realm of mass audience, which is fine. That's
I
the-
gave it a 7.5.
Maybe I'm being harsh. Maybe a 6.5. I'll give it a 6.5. The AC/DC singing makes up for a lot of it. I didn't say nothing about the solos in it, but I felt like the solos, that's their bread and butter too. And sometimes I forget about talking about it, but it's one of those, it's just part of the group. It's just, it's part of every track will have the solos that I'm looking for. So, I'm surprised I didn't say nothing about that.
Love it.
Was that the one that had like? Cause some of the bass was in some of these albums was very up front.
Some of them were, and I think I wrote a couple of those, like saying that. Some of their songs screaming for a love bite. I mean, come on. Like, it's hard for me to get behind some of those songs. But when you
dogs on leads,
too high to get it right, it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, that is What is that one? That is. Damn it, Mark. I Am a Rebel. That's their second album. Did you? 1980, I'm a Rebel.
This was another one for me. It was fine.
I gave it a 7.5. That's so to me that
I gave it
is
a 6.
a B. That's a B. Is it a B or a lawnmower? Is that lawnmower to you?
I mean, there's.
Yeah, lawnmower.
I would put it at borderline trash.
But
Borderline,
Wow.
borderline. Yeah. It was getting. I mean, like it's getting better, but it was.
Well, did you listen to the albums in order?
Yes.
Okay. That's important. I feel like a lot of times I made a mistake of switching, like going, okay, listen to that one 10 years later, I would listen to that one, like the gap. And I'm like, oh man, I should have listened to this one in the progression of the band because I gave it a 7.5. I think it's a B for me. It's good enough to throw back on. I guess this is where a lot of the AC/DC started coming out singing wise. His vocal approach, where you get to hear this is his identity, and the solos too are starting to get their own identity too. You're starting to understand what Accept is. They are AC/DC, Scorpions too. I don't know if you guys picked up on that a little bit too, especially the first and second album. It really had a Scorpions vibe to it because they recorded in their studio too. Whatever studio they were using their equipment. I got that vibe. I was like, oh, I understand. Okay.
I
And
think it was. It was just. It was forgettable. I remember being repetitive and just being kind of like, okay, didn't I listen to this song already?
fair enough. I mean, you're talking 34 minutes. It's not that long. It's almost a punk album, right?
I do love me some pop punk too. So.
Thunder, Lightning, or No Time to Lose is pretty good songs. It's one of those you can pick songs and be okay with it. I will say out of the whole albums, there's only one album I skipped, like songs. It was Eat the Heat. That's the only one I skipped. Everything else I listened to twice or more. That was the only one. I was like, I can't listen to this fucking garbage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that Eat the Heat. I was doing anything else I could think of while I was listening to it.
Sorry, I'm not trying to.
No. Again, I don't disagree with what you're saying. What I disagree with is the fact that you're saying this is the worst album of theirs, and it's not.
I can say at least I can listen to everything up to Eat the Heat and rather listen to that again. Like this album, I could probably put back on and pick stuff out compared to, it's a lawnmower to me too. I mean, I give it a 7.5. It is a lawnmower. I can just put it on, go cut grass really quick and come back. Stuff like that. So it's a lawnmower. We agree it's lawnmower?
Yeah.
Lawnmower. We do come up with cheeky little things sometimes. Lawnmower, trash. We haven't thought of something else. We usually try to pick out something from the band, but nothing's really popping out to me on this one. I don't think so. Let's see. It is a Death Row.
Death Row.
Ooh, is it?
Barely.
Death Row. Okay. So I gave this an 8.5. I really like this album. I can say this much: when Udo came back into the band, Objection Overruled was the first one, and then this one, I wrote down that whatever heaviness they went to, because they always have to. Every band is always evolution. Mm-hmm. When they went to that side, the heavier, crunchier stuff, it works. Whatever they did, it is working in these three albums. And the
Mhm.
structures of the songs are really a lot better now too, compared to I feel like they were just not all over the place, but I wrote down the structures were good. Evidently, how they were layering stuff, they were putting stuff together, the songs they're at, and it had that basicness to it too. I wrote that down too. I really like this album. I think I listened to this 3 times in a row. I really liked it.
I,
I
I would.
think the first handful of songs at 5, 6, 7, maybe I was into, and then after that, I thought it was average as all get out. They lost me. Like the first bit of it, I was like, yeah, okay, and then after that, it was just like,
I see what you're saying because the Generation Clash, Writing on the Wall, the instrumentals. I was going to give it a 9, but those really brought it down. I almost did an 8, but I was like, all right, 8.5. I understand what you're saying though. Like if they didn't have 12, 13, 14, 15, like those instrumentals, and just had 1 through 11, it probably would have been a 9 for me.
it would have been a better album for me too. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Because yeah, they lost me after again the first half dozen ish. I don't know exactly, but like somewhere it started to just kind of
TDR, yeah.
I dug the Pomp and Circumstance
Yeah.
instrumental.
I did too, to a certain extent. But a lot of these, sometimes you gotta understand when you have so much like material, stuff needs to be like a bonus track. You know, not everything needs to be on the album.
On the album, sure.
I think this is where that comes into play. They were probably riding that wave of, the back with Udo, like, oh, let's just put out this one and put out this many and blah blah blah. blah. No, maybe that's not.
And that was one of the other things I wrote too, was that there were definitely longer songs.
And that's in '94. We understand '94. Like when they came back with Udo, I think it was in '92 or whatever, with Objection Overruled, 93, the 4 years later, they were already in grunge and stuff. So they're still trying to maintain popularity. They went the right route by making it heavier and just better. I thought Udo was great too. Man, he has a good voice. It's really good. But I'm going to put it in A.
I agree.
mean, I put it in A. I think it's really good. I only had 2 albums below 7.5. Everything else is always 7.5 and above to me. And I'm just saying, for me, it is. Those 2, 6 and a 4, I'm just like, I tried to give Metal Heart a chance. I just couldn't do it.
It hurts me. It's so good.
I'm hurting feelings left and right around this place.
I'll have to do the 10-point scale next time if I'm invited back.
I can believe you even showed up. Balls to the wall.
Yes.
What did you think about Balls to the Wall?
I thought it was great. I would put it as an A. Yeah.
All
I
right.
think for
Now, do you
for
think
my
it's
ranking, it came in at number 4. Again, so Restless and Wild, Metal Heart are 1 and 2 interchangeably. Balls to the Wall's number 4. That is just freaking rock.
I think Balls to the Wall is their Black Album to Metallica in a certain way. I know it's number 5, just like Metallica, but I thought like the performance from everyone on that album is really good. Every musical performance. A lot of these older albums, you're like, okay, this is good, but the bass is drumming is This is the first
For this
couple
album?
one.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait a second, what?
Like the previous ones, like, okay, singing and guitar is good, but the drums are not. Bass is okay. Okay, this album, solos are good, drums are great, but the bass is horrible. This is the first one. I'm like, man, everything sounded stellar to me. Everything sounded good.
Yeah.
I wrote this album put them on the map. this is the one that really put them on the map. Balls to the wall.
Yeah.
I think maybe Beavis and Butthead had something to do with that a little bit. Just a
Possible.
little bit. Just
Maybe.
possible.
Yeah.
And the guitar work and the riffs are really good too.
The riffs are so good.
They are. They're so tasty.
And it was interesting. It wasn't just like really repetitive. Like, didn't I already hear this song?
Yes, very much.
Right.
And that's where I take solos into consideration because it's not only trying to play fast shred. Mike Runyon, that's supposed to be on this show, but he's not. Sorry, Runyon, for putting you out like that. He texted me. He's like, man, listening to like their best album, they're like, man, their harmonies are always good on every song. I'm like, that is their bread and butter too. They have this revolving door stuff with people, and he gets good guitar players that play with him, just like Mustaine. That's what he does. This is the same thing. Yeah. So.
And to have Balls to the Wall as the title, like the lead track on there, that set the bar for the entire album.
It does, man. They're really good at, for me, the older stuff. They can go from like hard rock to like this little metal part to AC/DC to the Scorpions. They can always find a path. And then you get their slow stuff. You're like, where did that come from? But you can appreciate it, you know? It's like their ballads, I guess you could call it that.
Power ballad?
Power ballad. No, they ain't talking about, no, they are talking about women. Never mind. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, the question to you is Balls to the Wall better than Death Row? To you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the rule of this game. If you put something with a slot, you can move something over because you moved it there. You only can move one.
Okay.
Remember that. So if you put something like in lawnmower,
I can adjust on. Okay.
Adjust. But you're only supposed to have 3 in each category. But we do have a lot here, so we might have to do 4.
Okay.
So moving stuff around and stuff. This is the fun part about this.
I like it.
Give you a heads up. So
I like it.
that was Balls to the Wall. And now, John, this one's yours, right?
Sure. I've kind of lost track of where we are.
Right? Shannon,
Yes, I was Balls to the Wall.
That's right. See? Pay attention.
Hey, look, man. You know,
Yes.
not used to having a third person here, okay?
That is true. You are throwing this off. That's
I was invited.
Dude, I want their names. I want their badge. And I was like, too mean to die.
That's the one I didn't listen to.
I'll take this one. I'll take this one. I'll let you spin the other one. I gave it a 8. Gave it an 8. I will put this probably in B, high B. They, in this album, they swapped a lot of songs from kind of the thrashy heavy to an AC/DC sound. I noticed that in the album. The riffs and the solos are top notch. I think they were a little bit unique, but they really worked with the songs very well. Whoever played with them too, they're really good. Production was good. And I wrote the guitar work is probably one of their best too. On top of that, not only solos but the guitars, the riffs were really good, really chunky to me. So I gave it an 8. Do we have a barf bag? You don't like the newer stuff, do you?
I will plead the 5th on that one.
Fair enough. What did you
I will
give
plead
it
the 5th
out
on
of
that one.
out of your 17? What number was it to you?
16.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Why?
I was so bored. I was so bored.
Dude,
I feel like they were trying to kind of merge their old stuff with their newer stuff. And they were trying to do something like new and different. And what happened was something that was really average and boring.
You didn't like the song like Zombie Apocalypse or like Too Mean to Die? What a cool title. Like
okay, yeah, great. Cool title.
Or like
Make the music more
Symphony
interesting.
of Pain? You didn't like the Symphony of Pain where you heard
I
like
don't
classical music?
I just don't think it worked. It was
Okay. All right.
it was
I gave it an 8. I thought it was good to me. I like the production from Blood Nations to the Humanoid. Their production's a lot better. I thought.
oh definitely. But it should be. It's the 2000s, 2010s, 2014s. Like if the production's not good, then what are you doing?
That is true.
Right,
That's
like at
what
that
made it a
point.
lot better for me. I think the solos, the drumming in these albums are really good too. Like the recent 5.
Was Zombie Apocalypse the first track?
Yes.
Okay, I will agree that was dope.
They
The
do
first
have
track
good
was definitely a
openers.
dope song.
Their
Yes.
openers are always bangers.
On point.
Always.
But yeah, it just like it was bored. It dragged. The refrains were just like, "Are we done yet?" Like,
Wow, tell me the truth.
Wow.
Jeez, don't hold back.
Jeez. Tell us how you really feel.
Now, you have to understand, when this ends, we all get one pass to move something around. So if you don't like where it's at, we can move it out, move something up, move something down. But
It's not your time yet.
it is not your time. You will get first dibs because you are the new one here at the end of the show to change one album to a different category.
all right, we'll see. We'll see.
And you have to
We'll see what else you're wrong about. No.
judge my judges in here. Jeez.
I was trying to add a little spice.
Yikes.
What is that? Is that Stalingrad?
Stalingrad, yeah.
That is Stalingrad. All right. Johnny boy, what did you think about Stalingrad?
Yeah. It was I didn't have many notes for it.
Okay.
I think I was kind of starting to get a little punchy, so it was like kind of around nap time for me when that one was on. So, so again, like coming out, out of the gate hot with Hung, Drawn, and Quartered was,
Dude,
that's a great song. I mean,
it's a banger. That's
Hellfire, Shadow Soldiers, they're all, I mean, they're great songs.
they are a great song.
And it's a good like sophomore effort for the new chapter of whatever you want to call it.
Sure,
you know,
yeah, the new decades for him.
yeah. And I feel like the solos were pretty good on there as well.
I think the harmonies were really, really good with the guitar work. Really stood out to me. I gave it an 8. I gave it another 8. I thought it was good. I'm kind of leaning towards 8.5 because their songs, I mean, it almost felt like a Blood of the Nations Part 2. Like it's just, these songs were part of that writing process, and it's like, well, this did good. That's what I wrote. The new formula is working.
And I feel like I wrote, well, anyways, on the other couple ones, but I felt like they're like through these 5 albums that there's kind of a theme throughout all of them that kind of intermingles itself.
It's like history. It's like a history type of lesson.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like, don't do this or we're gonna get to the apocalypse.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What did you think, Shannon? What did you think about it?
This is my number 3 album.
Okay.
I freaking loved it. It is speed, it is aggression. The guitar is just incredible. Like,
it's some zizzy claw to it. It has,
yes. And I think this album took the old stuff that made them so great, brought in some new stuff, and it did it beautifully. It did it so well.
It is nice for them because we're talking they're 30 years in. They have two different kind of legacies going, where you got the Udo legacy and then you got this new legacy. It's like, why don't we just pick from that stuff we used to do? We could do it so well. Now, when Objection and Predator and all of them came in, they kind of started that turn. And then the new singer, Mark Torriano, or whatever.
Tornelli, something.
Tornelli, his singing really, okay, we can do that. And I see what you're saying. They are really good at bringing that old stuff up. There was some like past couple albums. I'm like, man, that sounds like it's from like '85. Like, I like that. I do like the modern times for the old heads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But John,
The old guys, yeah.
where do you put down on the list for yourself?
For myself,
Where was it?
It's,
Where would it be?
I mean, it's a high B, low A kind of. It walks the
Okay.
fence.
Is it? We'll go
I would say that's fair right there.
right there. Okay,
Yeah.
I agree to that too. I think it's one of those I can come back to. That was my second album I bought from them because I never listened to the Udo stuff. I knew the old stuff. I never bought it. This Blood of the Nations was the very first album I bought from them, and Stalingrad was the second one. So I have the album in a box somewhere where I bought it or whatever. So it has a little place.
You got the nostalgia for it.
Exactly. I was like, man, I remember when I was, we're talking, this came out in what, 12? This is 2000.
2012, I think.
Yeah, 2012. I mean, you're talking, that long ago. I was like, man, it's fucking killer. I remember playing it in my car. I was like, man, this is great. Something different. So, yeah, I have a lot of memories behind that because it came in a slipcover and it kind of sounded like Russian. With Stalingrad, that's a Russian thing. There are elements of Russia in the album too.
Mm.
I did notice that.
Yeah. So it's talking about the Cold War, talking about first is Blood of the Nations, then you go to Stalingrad. So you're right. It's starting, they're showing a history lesson of life, getting to that part where humanoid, you're talking about, future events.
Like AI and shit.
Yes. They're pretty smart. They ain't dumb. They ain't dumb people. Okay. So you had Stalin, so it goes back to Shannon. Now we're down to what, 6?
Is it really? Yeah, probably.
7, 6, 7. We got 7. Still got some older stuff in there. Still got some new stuff. So I like the blend of it. Let's see. I think you got Blood of the Nations.
Nice.
Hang on. All right. Blood of the Nations.
Yeah, I thought for a comeback album, it was surprisingly good. I would put it in your B column, definitely above that stupid whatever that is. You mean to die? Rank that down, get that down there.
So a B?
Yeah.
Top B.
Yeah.
What was it out of your 17? What number was this on your list?
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
I can't count. Number 6.
Number 6. Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought they did. Yeah, I think I probably ranked it a little bit higher maybe than I would otherwise because I'm like, this is a comeback album.
Okay.
So
do you ever feel like when you're listening to this, like even on other bands that you probably got into and you're listening to their old catalog, you have to stop and be like, if I was in that time frame, I would have a different mindset of my ratings of their albums because I feel like sometimes a lot of it's not hard for me because everything I listen to is pretty much from the 80s most of the time. You know, all the I mean, except like other stuff, but like all my thrash is 80s, all of it, from that point. So it's not hard for me to listen to this. Like back in 81, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can get into that mindset and be in Blood of the Nation starting a new era. It's like it sounded so fresh and so
Yeah.
good. I think they took Death Row and Objection and they really fine tuned it to this. And
I would agree
yeah,
because I had it higher than Death Row on my list.
I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Like this is the first time I bought, so I am a little biased. But I mean, the singer is great. I'm glad they found this singer. I think he's amazing.
Yeah, he fits really well.
No, he did. Yeah.
The solos are really tasty. That's what I wrote. And the songs are catchy and replayable. Like I wrote that down.
This is definitely one you can come back to for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's interesting because it does the same thing where it's kind of blending heaviness with some more like melodic kind of jazzy stuff.
Like Bucket Full of Hate. Really? What a cool dude. That song in No Shelter.
Way to close out the album.
Yes. Rolling Thunder Pandemic is really a good one too. I thought that was a good one.
I have Kill the Pain for some reason, and I can't remember why I have that written down. I must have liked something about it.
Beat the Bastards, Teutonic Terror. Like, I feel like every song was like, they could play this whole album live and it would be an awesome fucking show. Like, it was really good. I think this is, to me, number 2 probably out of their 17. To me. That's how high I really rank it too. So.
I can't super argue. I mean, it is really good. I mean, it's what I say, like sick. So I mean, it's up there. It's up there.
All right. So B.
Well, we only get 3 in each category, right? So.
Well, we have to do 4 because there's a lot more than 9. Well, 4 times 3, 12. So we got more than 12. So we'll go 4. We'll run 4 on a couple.
That's okay. I'll leave it where it's at for now.
I'll allow it.
Leave it where it's at for now.
It's our damn.
I can't put it above Stalingrad. I can't do it.
I can appreciate that. I think Stalingrad was a banger too. I understand. I totally understand. I might have given Stalingrad an 8, but it's just at that time. That's what I thought about it. And ooh, Johnny Boy, this is yours. The very first one.
First album.
The very first album. This is the reason I talk about. This is from '79. It's like, you got to get yourself in that headspace.
Yeah.
What did you think about the debut album there?
Yeah, it was a decent. I say it was a decent debut. Some of the songs I'm not really sure like what you're trying to do here. Like Lady Lou, I could go without that for sure.
Yeah.
But I said it. Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, said it.
I don't know. Just to me, it was like it was whatever. What are we? Yeah. I mean, it's fine.
It's a debut.
It's a debut album, so you know, and as you said, it's very like Scorpions-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite. I guess their little formula of a couple, thrashers, and then we're gonna have this power ballad, and then come back to other stuff. But I mean, I might be a little harsh on my rankings, but I gave this like I gave it like a 5.
You gave it a 5. Okay.
Yeah, it's like again, it was fine. I may come back to it. There's a couple songs that I could definitely come back to, but for the most part, it was just there for
It
me.
was just there. Fair enough. What
Yeah.
about you, Shannon? What did you think?
Oh, I would put it in the trash category. That's where I would put it.
What didn't you like about it? Just something about it just didn't catch you?
I think it was really inconsistent, which made it hard to get into.
Sure. Too many ideas, right?
There's too much stuff. I feel like they needed to edit themselves. There's like you can see there's a lot of promise there. They have some super groovy riffs that are just like, oh, okay. Yeah. But I think everything else about it was super muddled and they had no idea what they wanted to do and what they were trying to be. And it's a no for me, dog. It's gonna be a no for me.
I gave it a 7.5. It's kind of funny. That was the very first. I gave it 7.5 because Scorpions influence. I noticed a lot of Scorpions in it, and they're from Germany, so it's kind of easy for a band that's starting to listen to the hottest band from their own country. You know what I mean? Unless you're ABBA. No, they're Swedish. They're Swedish. Never mind.
Yeah.
Swedes, those bastards. Germany, being with that, the guitars are the highlight of the album. Like you said, the guitar work was the highlight. I think I could appreciate to what being in '79, what they were doing. It was kind of, oh, wow. It's kind of ahead of its time to a certain degree. But the singing was not there. It was not Udo at his finest. It was chummed up. Maybe, okay, I'm giving it a 7. Let me take that back. I'm giving it a 7. The more I think about it, I'm giving it a 7, which, by the sounds of like what John's saying, it's trash. It's just trash. It's not lawnmower worthy. Sounds like it's trash. Is it trash to you?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I mean, too, y'all are saying it. I mean, I can get behind that because I think I was being more generous because I'm like, okay, it's 79. I got to think what, at that time, we're talking Iron Maiden, we're talking AC/DC, you're talking, Kiss and, Black Sabbath. That music at the time wasn't so much different lanes of the family tree. It was still kind of the same tree, just everybody was doing a little bit more than something else. And they were trying to find their spot, but I think the first one was like, okay, this is a demo. It's pretty much a glorified demo. Really is. I'm okay with trash. I really am. I'm okay with that. Absolutely. John, are you okay with that? It is your fucking turn. Sorry. My bad.
Oh, that's totally fine. That's probably where I would have put it.
Yeah.
That's probably where I would have put it.
I give it a 7. Maybe I was just trying to be generous with, what I was, trying to do. A lot of these bands, you listen to stuff from early 80s to 70s, you're like, okay, I'm trying to give it its time, What is this, Rise of Chaos? Yep. That is Rise of Chaos. What did I give that? 8.5. I gave it an 8.5. Songs have layers and weight to them. I guess evidently I thought that. Remember, from Blood Nations to Humanoid, I listened to that all today. All of it. Sorry, Blood Nations and Solid Ground I listened to yesterday. This I listened to today. So a lot of Too Mean and Humanoid and everything, I listened to it today. I thought every album was great. The newer stuff. The drums are better arranged and the riffs are heavy and right there to it. I think a lot of times how I judge albums that I notice. Can it pass the gym test? Can I take an album to a gym and listen to it? That's how I do it. And in my work truck, if I can crank that thing up loud and keep it loud until I get home, it is passing the test. And that album passed the test for me personally. I thought it was a top 5 album from them. What do they got? That's the one, Die by the Sword. That's the one with Die by the Sword. I think, let me see.
Yeah, that's the first
Die
track
by the
on that.
Sword. Kool-Aid, talking
I
about
love
the,
Kool-Aid.
the cult. Yeah.
Yeah. Analog Man. I like Analog Man a
Yeah.
lot.
Hole in the Head. That was kind of a unique one. Carry the Weight. And it had a really good, decent song. I gave it an 8.5. I thought it was good. I thought it stayed in the vein of the 5 albums. Production was great. I will give it a. I'll give it a B. Above Too Mean to Die. I think Blood Nation's better than that. I really do. But I give it a B. I think it was good. It was good to me.
As long as it's above Too Mean to Die.
You really
I can't argue with you. I don't know. I'm not sure why I'm hating on that album so much, but I was just not.
See, now I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to listen to it just.
What did you, what did you guys think of The Rise of Chaos?
I liked it, man. Like I said,
Yeah.
there's there was some really good, like I said, that overall stretching, like, apocalyptic theme going through the last few albums.
You can make a box set. Like everything's a box set, and it's just like you can tell the difference in the music, but it's still in the same that lane. They are still in that lane to me.
Yep.
Like they'll venture off just a little bit, but they come right back into it, and they do a very good job of it with new stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
the new
what
stuff
about the Shannon list of 17? What number did this one come in? See, I named your list. That's pretty good. You can come up with your own list.
This is 7. I actually put it right below Blood Ovations.
Okay. All right. So we're like in the middle.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of the list. Okay. So B is good. I think B is good.
Upper middle. Yeah. I'll allow B for sure. No, if you put it below Too Mean to Die, then
yeah. No. Nope. No,
You're
says
gonna-
I.
You're gonna throw some hands? Is that what happened?
I'll throw hands.
We're gonna have fisticuffs. Yeah, see? Look at you, fisticuffs. All right, Shannon, it is your turn. Let's see. Still got some old ones in there. Which?
Is it Breaker?
Breaker.
Yeah, Breaker.
I want to see what you say about Breaker. This is
Um,
their third one. This is their third album in 81?
82?
82, 81?
82?
I see you're messing me up.
81.
You're messing me up with having Too Mean to Die on there.
Where did you rank this in the Shannon
Because
list?
I would put it so on the list we have going, it has to be above Too Mean to Die.
Okay.
But literally everything does, so there's that. I have it as number 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9.
So
9,
this would be.
And so a little like it's kind of like slightly below average, I guess.
Okay. So it would be in the B tier, a little bit.
I feel like I'd have to throw it in Lawnmower.
Okay.
Because so
Is
I
it
wrote
Humanoid and I'm Rebel, or is it lower?
I would
than
put it
those?
above I'm a Rebel.
Okay, but
But
Humanoid's
probably
a little bit-
below Humanoid.
Okay. I
Although
gave it an
actually- Although actually on my list I do have Humanoid below Breaker.
Okay.
So we should pop it up one. Yeah.
There we go.
So The big thing for me on this album, I wrote getting better. So they're finding themselves, I guess.
I wrote the sound they have is what it's supposed to be. This
Minus-
is what
Minus their clean vocals. Their clean vocals had me twitchy, especially on Breaking Up Again.
Okay.
Like that, I was just like, oh, what are we doing here? Nope. No.
But did you like Balls when he sung Balls to the Wall where he talked? That was better than what you heard in Breaker, though.
Yes.
Okay, so he
Yeah.
needs that gravelly a little bit.
Yeah, that like.
You know.
Yeah.
Like I smoke
Yeah.
like cigarettes. No,
Yep.
well, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
See,
it's not
I
about
can
it.
appreciate that. I think you're right on that one. Yeah. What do you think, John?
Yeah, it was one of those where it was like every other song was kind of like, what are we doing here?
Did it sound very repeatable playing?
It did, and I don't know. This was one because was it this
Midnight
one?
Highway is repeatable playing.
Yes, it is.
That
Yeah,
song.
it's definitely a good song. But was this the one where it sounded like there was some production stuff that some of the songs sounded demo-y, like more.
Like the quality of it.
The
pretty
quality
much?
was kind of down.
Okay.
I don't know if it was this one. It had to be this one because we didn't really talk. Yeah, I think it was this one. But
I gave it an 8. Yeah.
I gave it a, what did I give it, a 6.5? I think Son of a Bitch is probably my new favorite Accept song.
That, I mean, what is it? Not Cannibal Corpse. What's the other band? Shit. Chris Barnes' band. Do you know what I'm
Oh,
talking
Cannibal
about?
Corpse? Or the other one?
What's the other
6
one's
Feet
name?
Under?
6 Feet Under. That's it. They covered that song.
Do they really?
Yes, they do. It is a really good. Dude, it's really good. I'll tell you.
I'm
this.
gonna check that out.
Like,
I'm writing it down. I'm checking that out on the.
I like that one. Run If You Can, Can't Stand the Night. Those are pretty good to me too. And we have to understand too, this is the first album where they sprinkled in a little bit of double bass in some of these songs too. This is where they start doing a little bit more of that double bass-esque inside of it. So that's the
we're getting
genre.
there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
It's a different dynamic. They're bringing in the dynamics. I think we got to figure this is the album before Wild, Restless and Wild. So this is was good. Let's elaborate this one to Restless. I think this was the catalyst for them to be like, oh, okay, this is the formula. This is the kind of the start of the formula, if you will.
That's actually, I think I wrote that down too. It's kind of the
starting point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it still doesn't belong in Lawnmower.
That is true. That is true. It has qualities to it. If I can take songs and just come back to it, it's better than trash because one and done. Like, I think the first album, I listened to it twice. So there's only one album I listened to one time, and that was it. We won't speak of that one. We speak of not its name. Russian Roulette.
Russian Roulette.
The last one with Udo in it. Before the reformation of the band, we're talking 86.
86.
Yep. I gave this a 9. I rank this really high. This is top 5 for me. Coming from Metal Heart to this is night and day. That's why Metal Heart was a little bit lower to me. it was kind of a surprise album to hear Metal Heartwave was when you listen to Restless and you know, you go from Balls to the Wall to Metal Heart.
Heart.
It was a nosedive. They tried something different. To me, it didn't work. To other people, it might have, but to me, it did not. I gave it a 9. Their opening song, great. They always got great opening songs. Songs sound like they're from Balls to the Wall or Restless. Like they could have been on those albums too.
Yeah, there's definitely a heaviness to this one too.
The drumming is high energy. I thought the drumming on this was another notch where they kind of Balls to the Wall, Metal Heart, back in their lane. They basically went back to what they know, but better. This is their top 5 for me.
Better than Balls to the Wall?
Yes. To me, it's better than Balls to the Wall. But I am not going to put it there, though. I will put it behind Balls to the Wall. I know the respect of it. To me, it's better than Balls to the Wall. I think personally, Balls to the Wall could have been an S tier. Personally, I think it's Death Row Balls to the Wall is better than it, but I really did enjoy the album though. I thought the quality was better. You know, it was kind of like you had Restless and Balls, and you're like, wow, okay, what's the next one? This should have been the next one, not Metal Heart. Metal Heart should have been after this one when Udo left. That should have been an album with the new singer. That should have been the new name band. Like, I feel like the albums were misplaced, if you will, of how they did it. Personally.
Okay.
That's if I could say that much. Yeah.
I'll allow it.
You allow it? Hey, I appreciate it. Well, what did you guys think about Russian Roulette? What did you think about it?
I mean, like it immediately.
I would pretty solidly average.
Yeah. What was your ratings?
I gave it a 7.
Okay. All right. So you thought it was a B? B tier?
It was definitely high B. Like I say, it immediately grabs you and punches you in the face a couple times with TV War.
Yes. See, I thought TV War was a great song too. TV War.
Heaven is Hell is kind of a interesting song. You actually get into the lyrics of it. But
another second to B. I thought was or Walking in the Shadow. I thought those were good ones too.
Russian Roulette.
I loved Another Second to Be. I think that was probably my favorite song.
Yeah.
Like my favorite track. Yeah.
What did you give it in the ranking?
So it's 12. But also, like, I would absolutely listen to this album again. And now I feel like I have to. Since you're saying better than Balls, I'm like, okay. I only have 3 albums on here that I probably would not listen to ever.
Okay.
So.
All right.
That's not bad. I mean, 3 out of 17.
Yeah. All the rest, I listen to it.
Okay. All right. Well, now from here, we only have 3 left. Dun, 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 dun. We got a newer one, a middle one, and kind of in the middle. The last 2 of them are Udo, and one of them is one of the newer ones in the 2010s. All right. Well, let's see. Shit. Predator. All right. Who's up?
I will take this one because I think you kind of stepped on my last one, but that's all right.
I stepped on your last one?
Yeah, I was supposed to do Russian roulette, and you just jumped right in and took over. It's okay. I'll allow it.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
No.
Yeah, you
Come
did.
on.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Damn it.
Little bit.
Awkward. All right.
I really dug this album. This was probably one of my favorites.
Really?
Yeah. Um, just like heaviness all over the place. I did like the it threw me off a little bit because I was listening to this one with headphones on.
Okay.
So I'm just sitting at like the little dining room table, and like when digging in the dirt starts, and there's that knock on the door with housekeeping. I was like,
You thought-
I was like, what is going? And I was like, oh, it's the song. All right, I got that.
Oh.
It freaked me out a little bit, but I did like how what is the bass player's name on this album? Pete something.
Peter,
Peter
he just left the band too.
Bauer
Ballas?
Dallas.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
I like how like halfway through the album they're like, guess what? He's gonna sing now, and it really kind of throws you a curve, but
Yeah.
it fit. It fit for those songs.
Well, with being later in your career, you're always trying to figure out different ways to change something. And I guess that was one of the ways that did. I gave it a 7. Like, I liked it, but it wasn't like, I don't know. It just, I guess I liked Objection and Death Row. Predator didn't really stick out to me. I don't know if that makes sense.
Sure.
But I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I was thinking he had like that. He had that like Russell Allen kind of Symphony X,
Yeah.
Adrenaline Mob kind of
Sure.
tone there, but
I mean, their heaviness was definitely their bread and butter with these 3 albums with Udo,
for
where
sure.
it definitely, you could tell the direction they were going, and it worked. I think it worked great. I think they did a really good job with it. So,
Yep.
What do you think, Shannon?
I don't disagree. I'm more in the realm of like I think it's not great or horrible. It's average, I would say, for me. Yeah.
So where would you put this, Mr. Sullivan?
Man, you guys are gonna hate me for this one.
Are you about to throw it in an S tier?
I'm throwing it in the S tier.
Yeah. Okay. Is it better than Restless or Metal Heart?
I would put it right in the middle.
Okay, right in the middle. Okay. All right. I was not expecting that one to be that high. I thought that was going to be middle tier, to be honest.
Well, the show's not over yet.
You do have the one. That's true. Okay.
Oh yeah, I got to start thinking about that, I guess.
So
With getting moved.
Shannon, you are up. You ready?
I'm ready.
An old one and a new one.
What's left? Blind Rage and that Objection?
Objection. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I think you got Objection. Yeah.
Looking likely.
Looking likely.
Looking likely.
Pretty likely, that's what it is.
It is. Wow. Objection.
Yeah, those guitar riffs were dope.
Okay.
I have it as number 8 on my list.
Okay.
So I think I will put it in that B tier
Okay. Now,
above, just below Blood of Nations. Below Blood of Nations.
okay.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. I gave that an 8 too. I thought the 3 with Udo was at least 8s or better. Predator was okay to me, but I do like his singing on it, the structure, the meatiness. It was good. They had a good formula what they were doing right there. They were doing good,
Yeah.
Yep.
especially being 92, 93, 94 that they were coming out with this is
Yeah.
pretty interesting too. A lot of people would fold. They would give up, you know.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, this one got broken up a lot for me as I was driving around the town.
You couldn't listen to it all the
Couldn't
way
listen to
through.
it all the way through.
Okay.
We were on a mission from God, trying to
Mission
get
from-
trying. Well, I mean, no one's watching this, so I can say it. I was going around to some local breweries to pick up some beverages for my pops for his birthday.
More important stuff. I understand. Oh,
So-
that's the grape soda. The grape soda.
Oh, it was awesome. Like I say, I brought some home. I got you.
Well, I mean, I think
I
it's a
should be
big.
drinking that right now. Actually,
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
I don't know. Next week, I'll have it. I'll have it for next week.
I'm just drinking water. Yeah. I did have ice
got-
cream before I came on now.
I got great Gatorade though, so
Yay. Okay, I got Blind Rage. I gave it an 8.5 personally myself. I dug the album, and Shannon brought up about the old to the new. This is the
Mhm.
first time I wrote that down, feeling that I'm like, man, some of these songs feel like back in the day, and like, man, let's get some riffs like in the vault, and let's bring them, you know, because this is the, you know, after Stalingrad, so you're
Mhm.
talking a different heaviness in a different way. Like, hey, let's make it sound like back in the day. I think that's what they try to do. Um, uh, Solos and formula. I write down a lot the formula, and I think a lot of times people don't like to stay in that lane. They always want to express themselves. I'm like, fuck that. If you know what your formula is, you need to stick with it. They stuck with it. They know their bread and butter. It's like, why? I got some solo work I can do. Why do I need to like bring
Yeah,
it in the band and do something like that? You know, I think they understood the homework and they knew what to do. They understood the homework.
Yeah. No, that one definitely has some good.
Trail of Tears.
Yep. Trail of Tears.
Trail of Tears. 200 Years is interesting. Final Journey was
yeah.
actually one of the ones that really caught my eye. And, you know, I was like, what? You know, and it really sounded good. Like, I had to listen to it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to that one too, because that was another recency effect one
Yeah.
that I listened to like 3 hours ago.
So I am going to move Balls to S, and I'm going to put Blind in front of Russian. I think Object was a little bit better because Udo. I like Mark as a singer, but with Death Row and Udo, it's better to me for what it is. But this is the game. You guys get one pick to move. So if you move a 1 from a 4 to another 4, you got to move something out there to a different place and down the list. So Shannon, you get to go first.
Awesome. Too Mean to Die needs to just all the way down.
Is it your worst?
All the way.
Is
that
It
your
is
worst
my
album?
least favorite. It is number
Wow.
16.
Is it better than the first album and Eat the Heat? Are you serious?
No, it is last on my list.
That was
Last.
their.
It brought 0 things. 0. There is nothing in that album.
So this album is 17 out of 17 for you.
Mhm.
Kid.
I was so bored. So bored.
Wow.
He's just so funny. Like
Bored.
you're telling me Zombie Apocalypse, Too Mean to
Great.
Die,
Not
Symphony of
great.
Pain, and
No, don't care.
all right, how do we
Zombie
sleep in-
Apocalypse is great. I will 100% grant you
All
that.
right, all right.
That's it. That's all this album has.
Not even a lawnmower? Really? Wow. Man, I thought it was at least better than a lawnmower. But we're gonna leave it in trash. I'm gonna let you have that one.
Yeah.
It can't be moved again. It has to stay where it's at. So lawnmower it is.
Yeah. It also just makes me happy how much it upsets you.
Just that punch in the gut.
Just
you know,
so that you know.
I got that motherfucker.
Take that.
Yeah, Johnny boy. What do you
Gosh.
want to move? One move.
Gosh, I don't know.
Is there anything on this list that you're like, this is not supposed to be like that? Or was your list kind of like this?
I have a feeling I know what's getting moved.
Oh, do you?
I have
Do
a
you?
feeling.
You have a feeling.
If it's like one of these things,
Is
it's
it
not
me?
like the other.
Are you talking to me? Are you
Yes.
talking that I'm going to move?
Yes.
I'm going to move. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a feeling I know what you're gonna move.
But
too,
also,
so-
but JM might do the same. We'll see.
Do you want me to go first? Or you want to go first, John?
So I would, and I know I put this there, but I would move Blind Rage up to where Predator is and move that down.
Okay, so
Just
Predator
flip-flop
down
'em.
to
Yep.
A, Blind Rage up to here.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm.
Okay. Huh. I mean, I thought it was a great album. I gave it an 8.5.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I think
so we're-
I put Blind Rage above Predator as well. I mean, kind of barely, but
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of interested why you gave Predator an S. I
I
was like,
just,
okay.
he's in the
I-
right
You-
spot.
it was,
Again.
it, like, I think what got me on it was the first half of Predator.
Okay.
Like, the
Alright.
first half of that album is really, really good.
Okay.
And then it kind of,
All
so
right.
I think I just had rose-colored glasses for that one for a minute.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, I get the last one. You ready?
I'm ready. Oh, okay.
I'll leave it in C. I'll leave it in B.
Okay,
I'll
I
leave
was
it
gonna
in
say
B.
it didn't go down as far as I thought it would. I thought you were
thought
like,
it
you
was
know,
gonna go trash.
Trash.
I can at least appreciate what they tried to do. They missed a step. I did like the album. I did listen to it twice. I did give it a 6. I was kind of rough on it because when I listened to like Restless and Balls to the Wall, and all of a sudden you get Metal Heart, it was like a kick in the metal balls. And it's like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, what the hell is this shit? So it's like, it kind of took me by surprise, but I do appreciate what they were trying to do. And I truly think Blood is a little bit better than Balls to the Wall. I really do. I guess it's the quality. That's the problem with this too. I have to think of the quality at the time, but I have to go what I know. Now, is Blind Rage better than Balls? I don't think so, but I'm going to leave it as it is. This is the list, people. Are we in agreement to this, or what?
I mean,
I
this
don't
is-
know that we would ever be in agreement to.
I'll tell you this. It's.
I don't know that we could arrange this in a way that we're all like 100% happy.
No,
But I
no.
think
it'll never happen that way.
these are agreeable terms.
It's agreeable. I will tell you this much: I've only had 2 albums under 7. I really enjoyed Accept. I was glad to listen to it because I knew about Udo, Balls to the Wall, fast as a shark, but I never really got time to dig in, and I'm glad I did. I really, really am. Because I can appreciate it now because I could talk about it and be like, oh, yeah, the latest ones are good. And it's like, you got to give the older ones a fair shake. So I'm really glad I was able to do that. And I do Accept too.
Okay.
Everybody knows Accept. You know what I mean? It's like one of those bands. So, whew, what a toll, man. When you got 17 albums, it can be a toll. It can be. But, just one or two, I appreciate it. I like it.
No, I think overall this is a great band.
Yeah, I do too.
Great.
I understand the legacy of it. And their latest one, Humanoid, is pretty good too. And I was
It's fine.
telling John, I don't think I told you, Shannon, that I watched Accept live today. They played a couple days ago at Hellfest over in Europe. So I just heard them 2 days ago live. And I'm like, man, they sound good live too. They sound super good. CD quality or better. And they're in their 60s. You gotta remember that.
They have to be, yeah.
Like half of them are in their 60s. Still at that quality. It's really, I wish they would get more notoriety. I really do.
Absolutely.
Maybe they will. I don't know. But that's the list, and we're sticking to it. All right, now.
Drop your comments in the comment section.
If you have a comment of the situation that we just brought to you that made your head explode, sorry, but that's what it is.
But
That's
we're
what
not
it's gonna
sorry?
be. Sorry, but not sorry. Oh, look at the bands.
Oh my gosh.
All these are bands.
So many.
All of them. So many. Let's make sure we get Accept out. Accept. Yes. All right. Now, look at the screen. You see my cursor? Okay. We're shuffling. You seeing it shuffle, right? It is shuffling. John, what is it
I'm
doing?
looking at it.
What is it doing?
I am acknowledging the shuffle at the current present.
All right, people. This is my favorite part of the show. I love this part.
What's next?
What is next? It's going to make me throw up. Trying to read it.
Not that bad, is it?
If you stick at it, you really look at it, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. I mean, just looking at it without it spinning gets you messed
I know,
up.
right?
Anyway.
Let's see. I can't tell. It's too
I don't
small.
know.
Oh, Cold Chamber, Eternal Filth. It might be Pearl Jam. No. Celtic Frost. Wasp. No. Pass. Him.
Are those the Heartagram guys?
Yes. That's who it is. It's him. That was Bam Margera's favorite band.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. So it's him. I believe they are from Europe. I think they're a Europe band. That's all I know. I think they have I know the band broke up because the lead singer quit or something. Valo or something is his name.
I don't know. The only thing I know about them is that Heartagram thing. That's all I know.
It's the Heartagram. That's right. So him. Man, let's take a look.
Well, let's see.
Dun, dun, dun.
I am going to have to leave. I hear all of my children raging already.
Yeah,
Bye.
I hear my nephew's being crazy down there.
Well,
so,
we're going to end the show, so everybody say goodbye to everybody.
Later, dudes.
Thank you, Shannon. See you next time, everybody. Until next time. See ya.
Yep.